Hey everybody, Andy Ross with Zealps here. This is my backyard, and the area behind me is the area that I typically do my gardening in. Today is April 15th, 2022, and I'm calling it day one of the Zealps Garden. I've done gardening pretty much every year. There's a couple years that I didn't do it, but pretty much every year for the last 10 years or so, I'd say, here at this location. What you're seeing is the leftovers from last year. I'm a little behind in my mind, but we still have a couple of days of super cold temperatures coming at night. I've got some fruit trees down below that have a few blooms on them, some plums and some pears, and some black tartar cherry trees. And I have a Montmorency cherry that's about to bloom, but I'm ready to get started. This footage you're going to see here next is just the least fun part of getting the garden back to life, which is clearing old growth out. A lot of times at the end of the season, I don't get time to go in and clean things up and prep it for the winter. But it's time to get started. I just walked through the garden, and there's carrots still left over from last year. Theoden loves these things. So here we go. I'm going to start cleaning this sucker up. Thanks for watching. Okay, so I've gone through and weed-eated kind of around what are all my flower boxes. All these flower boxes are made out of scrap wood that I've gotten my hands on, and some of them I kind of painted and touched up. Some of them I just let them be what they are. So I've done around my flower boxes, and as you can see, I've got some weed mats down from last year. I'm going to do what I can to leave those in place and see if I can't utilize them again this season. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 rows of weed mats. There's a lot to clean up in there. Back here is a box. It's strawberries, but I believe the strawberries are mostly choked out. I'll have to clean that up. Over here are 2 cucumber boxes with trellises, but this trellis on the left, evidently during one of these windy days, have broken off, so that box is either going to be scrapped or fixed. But just a lot of work to do. Most of these aisles are just leaves and dried up stems of gigantic cockaburr type weeds, so it's not as many weeds as it looks. but I go through there with the weed eater and bust down some of the dandelions and other weeds that are starting already this spring. And then a lot of the growth in the center of the rows, I'll have to pull out by hand. These mats are held down with landscape stakes, so I don't want to get any of those lost in the garden by pulling them up right now, because they can get stuck in the rototiller. But I don't even know if I'm going to rototill my walkways. I might get some mulch this year, or find other places that leaves have accumulated and just start covering my paths that way. For now, that's it. I might do some more cleanup work here on camera. Well, that's all I've got in me today. Started weed eating some grapevines, started clearing out this first row here, which was that was all, everywhere you see a white PVC 4-inch piece is where I had a tomato last year. The next row was peppers. I don't know if I'm going to plant that many of the different varieties this year, but we shall see, because I've got about 100 different varieties of vegetable plants to utilize somehow. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. I've got a lettuce box over here, 2 strawberry boxes. I may make one of those a lettuce box. Over in that far area over there, I didn't plant anything there last year. I don't know if it's possible, but I might experiment with some wheat this year. I'd really like to go through the process of learning how to plant wheat, harvest wheat, and by hand grind wheat down to flour so I can make my own bread. That's something that I've always wanted to do. And all my flower boxes are up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 flower boxes. I might even make a couple of these herbs. But I do have a ton of varieties of flowers, and I want to figure out a new way to plant flowers this year from seeds where I don't have to do as much weeding in the boxes. You'll also notice that every other flower box here, I've got a PVC water pipe. Last year I ran 150 feet from the back of the house down to the garden, underground, and it tees right here where all of these line up, and it runs over to that far tall post over there. There's 4 grapevines over there. I think they're all 4 Concord. I'm not having much luck with those. Same over here. These 4 over there that I was weed eating are Concord, and I need to figure out why they're not taking off. Anyway, I ran the water here so I had locations all over the garden to access water, and I had timers on each of these, and that helped me be more efficient with my water to these black water lines, and each one had an individual 1/4 of an inch hose to the plants, and that allowed me to run water for like 5 minutes. And I knew that each of these PVC pipes were being targeted with water instead of flooding the whole area for, you know, watering for 30 minutes, etc. But anyway, thanks for watching. This is technically my first video of the season. Hopefully I upload this one before I do talking about the plants that I'm working on inside. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.